Fluent, period. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about learning a new language is a lie? What if I revealed a hidden truth, a forgotten method so potent it allows you to absorb a new tongue faster than 99% of the population around you? Imagine unlocking a new identity, a new world, a new you, all in just 45 minutes a day. This isn't some outlandish promise from a late-night infomercial. This is pure, unadulterated linguistic mathematics. Most people struggle not because they lack talent, but because they're trapped in ineffective systems or they lack the consistency that truly changes the game. But what if you could do both right? What if you had a blueprint, a precise daily regimen that cuts through the noise and delivers results you can feel, results that transform your reality? In the next few minutes, I'm going to lay out a concrete, step-by-step plan for you. No expensive courses, no mind-numbing textbooks, no endless, abstract theory. Just what works. What's proven? All you need is a computer, a burning desire, and 45 minutes of your day. But before we dive into the exact mechanics, let me share a secret with you. A personal confession that might just change how you view your own potential. I wasn't a naturally gifted student. School was a struggle, a blur of distractions. My mind, a tempest of restless energy, found it nearly impossible to focus. Concepts would enter and, moments later, evaporate. Recalling what I just learned felt like chasing smoke. These are not, by any measure, ideal conditions for mastering something as complex as a new language. And yet, today, I navigate the world in 12 different tongues. I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm telling you this because if I could achieve this, despite what many would consider significant hurdles, then you, with this method, can absolutely achieve your linguistic dreams. This isn't about some innate, magical talent. It's about method. It's about consistency. That is the entire secret. So, what is the core truth you need to grasp? Every language, at its heart, boils down to three fundamental pillars: acquiring words and phrases, immersing yourself in spoken language, and actively producing that language yourself. Everything else is secondary, a mere embellishment. And here's where most people stumble. They start at the wrong end of the sword. They open a textbook, a tomb of forgotten knowledge, and dive headfirst into grammar rules, verb conjugations, endless tables, dissecting sentence structures until their eyes glaze over. After a month, sometimes less, they quit. Why? Because it's boring. It feels disconnected. It doesn't make any sense. Grammar, in isolation, cannot give you a language. Knowing every rule by heart is useless if you don't have the words to fill those structures. You won't understand a single thing, and you certainly won't be able to speak. That's why we begin with the bedrock: words. Your first, primary objective is to master the 1,000 most frequently used words in your target language. Not 5,000, not 50,000, just the foundational 1,000. Why 1,000? Because these 1,000 words will unlock roughly 80% of everyday conversations and texts. Think about that for a moment. An enormous leap in comprehension, achieved in a remarkably short time. This isn't about brute force. It's about strategic leverage, targeting the most impactful elements first. But here's a crucial, often overlooked detail. Do not, under any circumstances, learn words in isolation. Do not memorize lists of single words. This is the path to forgotten knowledge, to words that sit dormant in your mind, never seeing the light of day. Instead, learn words within complete phrases and sentences. For example, don't just learn the verb to go. Learn, I go to work every day in the morning. This isn't just a word. It's a living, breathing piece of language. It shows you not only the word itself, but how it's used in a natural context. And here's the magic. The grammar, the subtle nuances, the rhythm of the language. You'll absorb it automatically, organically, without ever having to consciously memorize a single rule. Your brain, an incredible pattern recognition machine, will do the heavy lifting for you. So, how do you put this into practice? It's deceptively simple. You need a curated list of high-frequency phrases with their translations. You read through these lists daily. When a new word or phrase appears, don't just repeat it like a parrot. Engage your mind. Create a vivid, even outlandish, visual association in your head. Picture the scene. Imagine the action. Your brain remembers images far more powerfully and rapidly than abstract data. This isn't mechanical repetition. This is active, imaginative engagement. This is how memories are forged. Once you've solidified those initial 1,000 high-frequency words and phrases, you pivot. This is where the real fun begins, where your learning transforms from a necessary task into an exhilarating journey. You move into specialized vocabulary. Here's the dark secret. Your brain craves interest. It thrives on engagement. It seals information related to what it cares about. So, choose a topic you are genuinely passionate about. Do you love history? Dive into words and phrases about ancient civilizations, pivotal battles, historical figures. Are you fascinated by politics? Immerse yourself in the vocabulary of global affairs, debates, and policy. Do you practice a specific sport? Learn the terminology of that game, the phrases used on the field or court. Why is this so potent? Because when the subject matter genuinely captivates you, the words stick. They don't just float around. They sink deep into your long-term memory. This isn't some flimsy theory. This is precisely how your brain is engineered to learn and retain information most effectively. For instance, I adore history. When I embark on a new language, I immediately begin collecting vocabulary related to topics like World War II, the Roman Empire, or the medieval ages. Within weeks, I can already tune into podcasts or documentaries on these subjects and grasp a significant portion of what's being said. You don't need to spend years wading through children's books or simplified texts before you can access truly engaging adult-level content. This method bypasses that tedious, often demotivating phase. Following this foundation, the second pillar of your linguistic journey is constant, daily listening. As soon as you begin acquiring your first words, you must start listening. Don't fall into the trap of waiting until you feel ready enough. That moment will never arrive if you don't initiate the process. Find a podcast, a YouTube channel, an audiobook, anything in your target language that discusses a topic you genuinely enjoy. Listen every single day. In the initial days, weeks, even, you'll understand next to nothing. And that is perfectly, absolutely fine. Do not stop. Do not despair. Observe what happens when you combine these two pillars. Today, you might learn 20 new words about history. Tomorrow, you listen to a history podcast, and suddenly, those very words emerge from the stream of speech. Your brain, that magnificent processor, registers them instantly. They cease to be mere entries on a list. They become living, breathing components of real communication. They solidify in a way that rote memorization can never achieve. After just a month, you'll find yourself understanding the majority of the content related to your chosen themes. This isn't magic. It's a meticulously designed system. Then, you simply choose a new theme and repeat the cycle. In this manner, your vocabulary expands, your comprehension deepens, and your engagement remains high because you're constantly feeding your brain what it finds interesting. And now for the third, and perhaps most critical pillar, speaking. And here's the unvarnished truth. You must begin speaking now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Now. This is where the vast majority of language learners commit their gravest error. They harbor the delusion that they must first learn the language entirely, accumulate enough grammar and vocabulary, and then they can begin to speak. But speaking is a distinct skill. It requires its own dedicated training, and the sooner you initiate that training, the better. The fundamental problem arises when an individual, brimming with theoretical knowledge, finds themselves in a real conversation. They might know some words. They might even understand the grammar rules. But they cannot construct a coherent sentence rapidly enough. Why? Because they've never actually trained the act of rapid, on-the-fly sentence creation. They haven't practiced converting knowledge into fluid speech. The solution is elegantly simple. You need a personal arsenal of ready-made phrases. Not generic, disconnected sentences pulled from a textbook, but your phrases. Phrases about your life, your thoughts, your interests, your conversational topics. I call these language islands. Imagine them as safe harbors in the vast ocean of a new language, places where you can stand firm and express yourself authentically. How do you build these islands? Every single day, you sit down and write a minimum of 30 sentences in your target language. These sentences must be about you, about your day, about your work, about your hobbies, about what you like, about what you hate. They need to be vivid, real, and personal. Not, I go to the market, but what you would actually say in a genuine conversation. For example, I really dislike waking up early on Mondays, but my coffee always saves the day. Or I spent last weekend exploring an old forest, and it was incredibly peaceful. And then the training begins. You read these phrases aloud, slowly, clearly, with deliberate attention to pronunciation. You then listen to an audio recording of a native speaker uttering these same phrases, either individually or in blocks. Repeat after them. Mimic their rhythm, their intonation, their sounds. But here's the most powerful exercise. You translate from your native language into your target language. You look at the Portuguese phrase or your native tongue, and you attempt to speak it in English or your target language until it flows effortlessly, until it becomes automatic. This is true speaking practice. It's not about merely understanding a phrase. It's about being able to produce it yourself, quickly and accurately. It's about transforming passive knowledge into active, usable skill. There's another incredibly potent resource that countless learners tragically underestimate: talking to yourself. Constantly. Yes, it might sound peculiar at first, but simply narrate what you're doing. Articulate your thoughts aloud. Recount what you heard in that podcast. Engage in an internal debate about anything and everything that crosses your mind. This private monologue is one of the most powerful practices available to you. You can make 1,000 mistakes, stumble over every word, invent new grammar rules, and there is absolutely no one there to judge you. This is stress-free, shame-free, utterly effective daily practice. It builds fluency in a way that no classroom ever could. So, let's condense this into your daily ritual. Your 45-minute linguistic power surge. 15 minutes. Word and phrase acquisition. Dedicate this time to your curated lists. Learn new phrases, visualize them, solidify them. Transform abstract data into concrete, memorable images. 15 minutes. Immersive listening. Tune into your chosen podcasts, YouTube channels, or audiobooks. Focus on content related to your interests. Don't worry about perfect comprehension. Just immerse yourself. Let your brain work its magic, connecting new words to their living sound. 15 minutes. Speaking practice. This is your Language Island session. Write your personal sentences. Read them aloud. Repeat after native speakers. And critically, translate from your native language into your target language, pushing for speed and accuracy. This is your routine. Every single day. No excuses. No skipping. Consistency is the silent weapon that demolishes linguistic barriers. If you commit to this with unwavering discipline, in 2 to 3 months, you will witness a profound transformation. Your speech will begin to flow. It won't be perfect. You'll make mistakes. That's part of the journey, but it will be fluid. You'll stop consciously constructing every single sentence from scratch. Instead, you'll find yourself relying on those ready-made structures, those language islands that are now firmly embedded in your mind. Speaking is not magic. It's not a talent you're born with or without. It's the result of having a rich reservoir of ready phrases and a consistent daily practice of activating them. That is the whole, undeniable truth. If this revelation has resonated with you, if you're tired of the old, broken systems, if you're ready to unlock your true linguistic potential and experience rapid, tangible progress, then you've found your home. This channel, Fluent, is dedicated to equipping you with the dark arts of language acquisition, the methods they don't want you to know because they actually work. If you're ready to become truly fluent, consider subscribing and joining our community. We delve into these techniques and many more, designed to supercharge your learning journey. Whether you're aiming for English, Spanish, French, German, or any other language, This methodology forms the ironclad foundation for genuine fluency. Now, go forth and conquer.